North Korea has always been a controversial country. All the horror stories that come out of that place makes you wonder if it's happening in the 21st century. Let me tell you, it is. North Korea is all about suppressing their population. Punishments, starvation, and executions are a regular ordeal. In this video, we will be taking a look at some of the most horrifying punishments North Korea doles out to their women. Better hold on to your horses, folks. It's truly horrifying. Number 15. Assassinations abroad. North Korea's regime has gained a notorious reputation for conducting assassinations abroad. One of the most infamous cases involves the assassination of Kim Jong-nam, the estranged half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. In February 2017, Kim Jong-nam was killed at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. He was attacked with a toxic nerve agent called VX, a substance banned in many countries. Two women, who claimed they were tricked into believing they were participating in a prank for a television show, were arrested for the assassination. North Korea's methods for carrying out these assassinations are often elaborate and calculated. The regime typically employs agents trained in espionage and covert operations, using disguises and false identities to evade detection. For instance, reports suggest that agents have been sent to various countries under the guise of diplomats or business people, allowing them to blend in while they execute their deadly missions. Another notable incident occurred in 2010 when a North Korean defector, Hwang Jang-yop, was targeted. Hwang was a high-ranking official who had fled to South Korea in the late 1990s. North Korean agents were reportedly sent to assassinate him, but the plot was foiled before it could be executed. This failed attempt further illustrated the regime's relentless pursuit of those who challenge its authority. North Korean officials have been implicated in the assassination of individuals linked to South Korean intelligence and even foreign critics. These actions serve a dual purpose. They eliminate threats and send a chilling message to anyone considering defection or dissent. The international community has condemned these acts of violence, but North Korea seems undeterred. Number 14. Food deprivation. While many countries struggle with food shortages due to natural disasters or economic issues, in North Korea, the government intentionally uses starvation as a means to punish and manipulate its citizens. It's a dark reality that adds another layer of suffering to an already oppressed population. The regime has a history of prioritizing military and elite needs over the basic sustenance of its people. Reports indicate that during times of famine, the government often focuses resources on the military or loyal party members, leaving ordinary citizens to fend for themselves. This wasn't just a one-time issue. The famine in the 1990s, known as the Arduous March, resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, due to starvation. Even today, many North Koreans struggle to find enough food to eat. But it's not just about food shortages. The regime actively uses food as a weapon. Those who fall out of favor can find themselves on the receiving end of deliberate food deprivation. Inmates in labor camps often experience severe malnutrition as a punishment for their crimes. Guards may use food as leverage, offering rations to those who comply and denying them to those who resist. Imagine having to choose between obedience and your next meal. This is the grim reality for many. In addition, the government imposes strict control over food distribution. Citizens often rely on a black market to get by, as the official rations are woefully inadequate. This underground economy is risky. Getting caught can lead to severe punishment, including imprisonment or worse. People are forced to adapt, often resorting to eating whatever they can find, including grass or wild herbs, just to survive. Number 13. K-pop penalties. In North Korea, K-pop isn't just a music genre. It's considered a direct threat to the regime's control and ideology. The government views South Korean pop culture, particularly K-pop, as a vicious cancer that could undermine the loyalty and unity of its citizens. As a result, the penalties for indulging in K-pop can be severe and shocking. If you're caught listening to your favorite K-pop song, you could face harsh punishments. Reports indicate that people have been sentenced to years in labor camps for simply owning a K-pop album or being found with a video of a popular K-pop group. In extreme cases, individuals have faced execution for promoting foreign cultural influences, which is seen as a betrayal to the nation. The penalties are not just limited to music lovers. Anyone found distributing K-pop materials can also expect severe consequences. This includes not only the usual suspects, like the teenage fans, but also parents who might unknowingly allow their children to engage with this forbidden content. The regime has even been known to conduct searches of homes to root out any unauthorized media, and the black market for K-pop is a double-edged sword. While it offers a way to access the music, it also increases the risk of punishment if caught. The irony is palpable. North Korea actually produces clothing and media that mimic the very K-pop culture it seeks to suppress. Yet for ordinary citizens, wearing anything that resembles Western or South Korean styles can lead to fines, imprisonment, or forced labor. Number 12. Prisoners fed to dogs. In the grim reality of North Korea, the treatment of prisoners can be shockingly brutal, and one of the most horrifying aspects is the reports of prisoners being fed to dogs. This isn't just a rumor, it's a chilling reflection of the regime's cruelty and disregard for human life. The stories often come from defectors who have escaped the oppressive regime and shared their experiences. They describe a system where prisoners are subjected to inhumane conditions, and the punishment can be as extreme as being thrown to dogs. In some accounts, guards reportedly use this method as a form of execution, showcasing their power and instilling fear among the other inmates. Imagine being in a place where your life could end in such a gruesome manner, simply for being accused of a crime against the state. One particularly harrowing story involves a defector who recounted witnessing a fellow prisoner being fed to dogs as a punishment for trying to escape. The guards, in a display of brutality, would unleash their dogs on the prisoner, turning a life into a gruesome spectacle. This kind of punishment serves a dual purpose. It eliminates a perceived threat and sends a terrifying message to others about the consequences of disobedience. Number 11. Movement restrictions. North Koreans need permission to travel between cities or provinces, and this permission is rarely granted unless you have a good reason. If you're not part of the elite class or connected to the regime, your chances of getting that approval are slim. People have to apply for travel permits, and even after they're granted, they still face scrutiny. Imagine having to justify why you want to visit a different city, just to buy groceries or see family. The regime's paranoia about dissent means that travel can lead to severe consequences. If you're caught traveling without the necessary permits, you could face imprisonment, forced labor, or even worse. This fear keeps people from moving freely within their own country, creating a sense of isolation and hopelessness. Families can be torn apart because members are unable to visit each other, leading to a culture where relationships suffer under the weight of government control. Then there's the border with South Korea and China. The government strictly forbids any attempts to leave the country. Those who try to defect face dire consequences, not just for themselves, but also for their families. If someone is caught trying to escape, their relatives can be punished severely, often sent to labor camps or worse. This creates an environment where people are too afraid to even think about leaving, even if they know that life outside North Korea could be better. The regime uses surveillance and informants to monitor citizens closely. Neighbors are encouraged to report any suspicious behavior, leading to a climate of distrust where everyone feels they're being watched. This constant monitoring ensures that people stay in line and reinforces the idea that freedom of movement is a privilege only for the elite. Number 10. Generational punishment. Imagine living under a system where your life is dictated not just by your own choices, but by the perceived sins of your ancestors or relatives. If a person is accused of treason, for instance, their family can be sent to labor camps, where they might spend years, if not their entire lives, working under brutal conditions. This kind of punishment creates a climate of fear that extends far beyond the individual. It keeps families in line, knowing that one slip-up could cost them everything. The regime uses generational punishment as a tool to enforce loyalty and obedience. It serves as a deterrent, ensuring that people think twice before speaking out or taking any action that could be seen as dissent. The psychological impact is profound. Individuals are not only worried about their own safety, but also about the well-being of their loved ones. This creates an environment of paranoia where people are hesitant to express their thoughts or feelings, fearing the repercussions that could befall their family. Reports from defectors shed light on the harsh realities faced by those caught in this cycle of punishment. Many families live in constant fear, knowing that they may inherit the sins of a relative. Even the children of those who have been punished often face discrimination and are treated as outcasts. They are denied opportunities for education and employment, forced to carry the weight of their family's past on their shoulders. Number 9. Public executions. Public executions in North Korea are a shocking and brutal reality that serve as a grim reminder of the regime's authoritarian control. These events are not just about punishment. They are spectacles designed to instill fear and reinforce loyalty among the populace. In a country where dissent is not tolerated, the regime uses these harsh measures to keep its citizens in line. The details of public executions can be chilling. They are often carried out in front of large crowds, including local citizens and officials, to maximize the psychological impact. The regime selects specific locations, like public squares or stadiums, where the executions can be witnessed by as many people as possible. This is all part of a strategy to demonstrate the consequences of disloyalty and to remind everyone of the power the government holds over life and death. Reports from defectors reveal that the reasons for these executions can be alarmingly trivial. People have been executed for alleged crimes such as theft, watching foreign films, or even attempting to escape the country. In some cases, individuals are accused of being anti-socialist or engaging in behavior that contradicts the regime's strict ideological standards. For instance, one defector recounted witnessing an execution for someone caught with a South Korean soap opera, an act considered treasonous in the eyes of the North Korean government. The actual execution methods can vary, but they are often gruesome. Some reports indicate that people are shot, hanged, or even subjected to more brutal methods, such as being killed in front of dogs. This brutality serves a dual purpose. It eliminates a perceived threat and creates a spectacle that leaves a lasting impression on witnesses. Number 8. Medical experiments. In North Korean labor camps, inmates are often used as guinea pigs for various medical experiments. Some defectors recount harrowing stories of being subjected to testing for diseases, vaccines, and even chemical agents. These experiments are typically performed without consent, and the prisoners have no say in what is happening to their bodies. For these individuals, the promise of better treatment or a lighter sentence is often the bait used by guards to gain compliance. One of the most disturbing aspects of these experiments involves testing for biological and chemical warfare. North Korea has a history of developing such weapons, and there are claims that political prisoners are used to test the effects of these substances. Defectors have described being injected with unknown substances, left to suffer the consequences without any medical care. Many do not survive the ordeal, while others are left with lasting health issues. In addition to chemical testing, there are reports of forced sterilizations and other invasive procedures being carried out on prisoners. The regime targets certain groups, often those deemed undesirable, including defectors, religious practitioners, and members of minority groups. The goal is to suppress any potential dissent and control the population through fear and suffering. Number 7. Communication sanctions. In North Korea, the vast majority of the population is completely cut off from the global internet. Instead, they have access to a tightly controlled intranet known as Kwangmyong. This intranet offers a limited selection of state-approved content, which means North Koreans can only access information that aligns with the regime's propaganda. They are denied the ability to explore the wider world, which plays a significant role in maintaining the government's narrative and control over the people's thoughts. Telecommunications are also heavily monitored. North Koreans are not allowed to own personal mobile phones with international capabilities. Instead, they have access to basic phones that can only make calls within the country. Text messaging and other forms of communication are restricted, and any interactions are subject to scrutiny. The regime employs a network of informants, making it risky for individuals to discuss anything deemed sensitive or critical of the government. Defectors often report that even when people manage to access foreign media, it's done in secret and at great personal risk. Watching South Korean dramas or listening to foreign music can lead to severe punishments, including imprisonment or forced labor. This fear keeps many from even voicing their curiosity about the outside world, which stifles any potential dissent. Those who have defected often lose touch with loved ones back home, leaving them in a state of uncertainty. The regime uses this separation to its advantage, knowing that the fear of repercussions will keep defectors silent about their experiences and discourage others from following in their footsteps. Number 6. Labor camp conditions. Labor camp conditions in North Korea are a chilling reflection of the regime's brutality and disregard for human life. These camps are designed to punish those deemed a threat to the state, including political prisoners, defectors, and even individuals accused of minor crimes. Life inside these facilities is a harrowing experience, marked by suffering and dehumanization. Imagine being crammed into a small, dingy cell with dozens of other inmates. Defectors have described conditions as overcrowded, with little room to move or breathe. The cells are often filthy, lacking basic sanitation, and the stench is unbearable. Prisoners are forced to live in these inhumane conditions, where disease spreads like wildfire. Medical care is virtually non-existent, and if someone falls ill, they are usually left to suffer without treatment. Many die from preventable diseases, their lives snuffed out in a place designed to break their spirits. Inmates receive minimal rations, often just a small bowl of gruel made from corn or millet. This meager diet leads to chronic malnutrition, leaving prisoners weak and emaciated. Reports indicate that some prisoners are so desperate for food that they scavenge for insects or plants, often risking punishment if caught. The combination of hard labor and starvation creates a cycle of suffering that is hard to escape. Prisoners are forced to toil long hours in harsh conditions, whether it's mining, logging, or agricultural work. They are expected to meet impossible quotas, and failure to do so can result in brutal beatings or even execution. The physical strain is immense, and many prisoners collapse from exhaustion, only to be punished rather than cared for. Number 5. Smiling penalties. In North Korea, July 8th is a day marked by somber remembrance, as it commemorates the death of Kim Il-sung, the country's founding leader. The day is filled with strict protocols and expectations surrounding public mourning, and this is where the concept of smiling penalties comes into play. On this day, showing any signs of happiness or joy can lead to severe consequences, highlighting the regime's control over personal expression and emotion. On July the 8th, the atmosphere is heavy with grief, and citizens are expected to demonstrate their loyalty by mourning openly. From early in the morning, public gatherings are organized where people are required to express sorrow for the loss of their leader. Anyone caught smiling or laughing during these events risks being reported to authorities. Defectors have recounted stories of individuals who inadvertently smiled and were dragged away for re-education or faced other harsh punishments. The regime enforces these penalties to ensure that citizens appear genuinely devastated, reinforcing the cult of personality surrounding Kim Il-sung. This expectation is so ingrained that even children are taught from a young age to maintain a serious demeanor on this day. Schools often host events where students are reminded of the need to show their grief, and any deviation from this can lead to repercussions for both the child and their family. The psychological impact of these expectations can be severe. Many North Koreans live in constant fear of being accused of disloyalty. The pressure to suppress any feelings of happiness or joy on July 8th creates an atmosphere of anxiety, where individuals feel they must constantly monitor their expressions. It's not just about a day of mourning, it's about survival in a regime that punishes any hint of dissent. Number 4. Western clothing ban. The ban on Western clothing has been in place for years, but it has gained more attention in recent times as the regime intensifies its crackdown on perceived foreign influences. The government views Western fashion, especially items like jeans, t-shirts, and branded apparel, as symbols of capitalism and cultural imperialism. Wearing such clothing can lead to accusations of disloyalty or attempts to undermine the state's values. Citizens are expected to dress in traditional Korean attire, such as the hanbok, especially during public events or holidays. While the hanbok is a beautiful and culturally significant garment, the enforced uniformity stifles individual expression. For many young people, this can feel stifling. as they see their peers around the world wearing what they like and expressing themselves through fashion. In contrast, North Koreans are often limited to drab, state-approved clothing styles that reflect the regime's ideology. The penalties for violating the clothing ban can be severe. People caught wearing Western attire can face public shaming, fines, or even imprisonment. Defectors have shared stories of individuals being stopped by authorities for wearing something as simple as a pair of jeans or a branded shirt. The fear of punishment means that many North Koreans conform to the dress code, even if they secretly long for the freedom to wear what they choose. Interestingly, the regime has often targeted foreign media and cultural influences, which they believe contribute to a desire for Western clothing. This is part of a larger campaign to block outside influences and maintain control over the narrative within the country. The government promotes its own version of fashion, often encouraging clothing that aligns with its propaganda, which distorts the perceptions of what is considered acceptable. Number 3. Fear control. Fear control in North Korea is a chilling tactic that the regime uses to maintain its grip on power. One of the most striking features of this control is the regime's extensive surveillance network. Citizens are constantly monitored, not just by government officials, but also by their neighbors. Informants are everywhere, and the fear of being reported for any sign of disloyalty keeps people in line. This culture of distrust means that even casual conversations can feel risky, as people are acutely aware that their words might be used against them. Public executions and harsh punishments serve as stark reminders of the regime's power. These events are often designed to instill terror in the population. When a dissenter is executed, the state ensures that as many people as possible witness the event. This spectacle is a grim warning. Defy the regime, and you will pay the ultimate price. The psychological impact is profound, as people realize that even minor infractions can lead to severe consequences. The government also manipulates the narrative around fear. State-controlled media is filled with propaganda about external threats, particularly from the United States and South Korea. By fostering a belief that the country is under constant threat, the regime can justify its oppressive measures as protective actions. Citizens are led to believe that any dissent could weaken the country and invite foreign intervention, keeping them in a state of anxiety. Education plays a significant role in fear control as well. Schools teach children to be vigilant and report any behavior deemed suspicious. From a young age, they learn that loyalty to the state is paramount, and that questioning authority can lead to dire consequences. This indoctrination ensures that the cycle of fear continues across generations. Number 2. Anti-aircraft executions. When it comes to the extreme measures North Korea employs to maintain control, anti-aircraft executions are among the most shocking. Yes, you heard that right. In this isolated regime, punishment can take a gruesome turn, and using anti-aircraft guns for executions is one of the most chilling methods on their list. Take the case of General Hyun Yong-chol, who met a brutal fate in 2015. He was accused of falling asleep during a meeting with Kim Jong-un, a major no-no in a system that thrives on fear and loyalty. Instead of a quiet dismissal or a prison sentence, the regime decided to execute him using an anti-aircraft gun. The sheer brutality of this method is intentional. It's designed not just to eliminate a perceived threat, but to send a loud, clear message to anyone who might think about stepping out of line. After all, who would dare to challenge a regime that would go to such extremes? These executions aren't just private affairs either. They often take place in front of large crowds, including military officers and government officials. Imagine being part of a gathering where someone is obliterated by an anti-aircraft weapon. This gruesome spectacle serves to instill fear, reminding everyone that the consequences of disloyalty can be horrifyingly public. Number 1. Kwanliso camps. The mere mention of Kwanliso camps in North Korea sends a chill down the spine. These are the regime's notorious political prison camps, where untold numbers of citizens are subjected to unimaginable cruelty and suffering. The camps are hidden away, tucked deep within the mountains, where the regime can conceal its darkest secrets. Once inside, you're stripped of your identity, reduced to a mere number, a faceless prisoner trapped in a living hell. The overcrowding is staggering. Defectors have described cramped, filthy cells where hundreds of people are crammed together, forced to sleep in shifts. The lack of sanitation and medical care leads to the rapid spread of disease, and many prisoners simply waste away, their lives snuffed out in these hellish conditions. Food is a constant source of torment. The work is backbreaking and relentless. Inmates are forced to toil for long hours, whether it's mining, logging, or constructing infrastructure. Failure to meet quotas can result in beatings, torture, or even execution. Guards wield their power with impunity, using intimidation, humiliation, and violence to maintain control. Prisoners live in constant fear, knowing that a single misstep could lead to unspeakable consequences. Entire families are often imprisoned together, with children growing up in this hellish environment, never knowing the outside world. Thanks for watching another episode. While you are still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more quality content.